Well, I think we always wanted to do something for our future that was kind of productive and not just spend all our money on toys and whatnot.
For us, it was about securing our future, and we looked for quite a long time into what different investment avenues that there were. And for us, property investment is probably the safest way to basically give us financial freedom.
Yeah, we had each had a property before we came to B.Invested.
I also had bought an apartment, just a 2-bedroom place, and it wasn't a bad investment, but for me, when I reflected on what that meant for me, I didn't really know where to go. I didn't have a strategy, so that was the reason why Luke and I looked into B.Invested, because we know that we had some places which were okay, but we didn't have a strategy to take us forward.
Well, the thing with B.Invested is it really just helped us to look at the problem, or not the problem, but look at what we wanted in a different way. So instead of us just buying random properties, and as a lot of property investors start out doing, you just buy a property because you want to buy a property. You don't really look at your end game. So what B.Invested did was really allow us to focus on the end game. What do we want to achieve? And then you can work backwards from there. So let's say you want to have a passive income of X. So how many properties do you need? At what structure do you need? And how are you going to achieve that from there? And so then you can break it down. Say I need 10 properties all paid off to be able to afford me this lifestyle. So how do we get to that? And so that's kind of what the big thing with B.Invested was, is not only would they help us get the properties, is they'd help us have a plan and a structure and a way to get to that end goal.
So we bought 22 properties between the both of us. I've got 15 and Luke has 7.
Yep.
And actually in the last few weeks, my brother and I have bought a block of land together that we intend to build on.
The biggest thing we've been able to achieve is just going from not really having the strategy to then turning around and having a pretty decent portfolio of 22 properties. That I'd say is probably the biggest achievement. Because without B.Invested, we would not have gotten that far. I mean, we potentially could have 3 or 4 more properties, but you just really, unless you line up all the different factors, and there's so many different factors, there's not only properties, the properties themselves is a massively important factor, but there's also the finance structure, how much you leverage yourself, what banks and loans and stuff like that. You've also got all your legals, and your property management's another factor. And if you don't have all those things kind of in alignment, I mean, it really doesn't work out for you.
I think what's really important is when you start acquiring all these properties, you need to have a really good team around you. And so, we have a fantastic finance team, we have a fantastic strategy team, we have a fantastic team of property managers, and I think it's 100% important to get all those people right, because without those people, there's no way that you can manage it. We first came in for a map session, and we sat down with Daniel to speak through our situation. And I left, and I said to Luke, I was like, I don't think they like us, because there was no sales story. They weren't trying to push anything down our throat. And my expectation, I think, of people that basically help you buy real estate is that, they sell you these off-the-plan deals and it's all hard and fast and take it now. Whereas B.Invested are super trustworthy. If you don't want to do something, that's totally okay. It's all about your choices and your decisions, and they just sort of point you in the right direction and help you along the journey. You look back in your life on the good and the bad decisions that you make, and sometimes it's just one decision that changes the course of your journey. And the map session for us, even though it sounds so simple, was really one of those moments.
I think by the time you're ready for whatever you're trying to do, it's too late. So you need to just get in there and get it done, essentially.
Yeah, what's the old saying? Best time to plant a tree was yesterday.